Well, one day before the G20 Summit, the leaders of 19 countries and the European Union, plus the United Nations, World Bank, and other heads of the state and other international organizations are arriving in New Delhi. Well, that, of course, includes Chinese Premier Qiang, who's leading the Chinese delegation fresh from the ASEAN Summit in Indonesia. Well, this is the first time Li is attending a global conference like the G20 as China's premier. Well, yesterday I sat down with Maja, the highest level Chinese diplomat in India. She said Beijing hopes the summit consolidates consensus, conveys confidence, and promotes development, adding that Beijing has always attached great importance to the G20 summit. Ma said Premier Li will elaborate China's views on G20 cooperation at the summit and that Beijing is willing to contribute to a stable global economic recovery and sustainable development. She emphasized that the continued improvements and growth in China-India relations serve the common interests of the two countries and their peoples, saying that we stand ready to work with India to further improve and advance bilateral ties. Well, the city of New Delhi appears to be in full swing for the G20 Leaders Summit. We arrived in the Indian capital 2 days ago. The streets are lined with banners. Some have the summit theme on them, one earth, one family, and one future, while others urge giving a voice to the global south. Support for the latter is the message from India ahead of the summit. Earlier, the Indian Sherpa told the media they are trying to get leaders on board for the New Delhi declarations, a document that centers voices from the global south, calling for greater support for technological and economic development and a bigger role for emerging economies in international governance. Well, it expresses hope that a consensus is reached by all leaders in the communique at the end of the forum, hopefully. Well, having said that, the entry of the African Union into the G20 is also expected to be discussed in New Delhi. It's believed admission of the 55-member body could help boost its international standing as a voice for developing countries. Well, finally, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is said to be hosting a bilateral meeting with the U.S. President Joe Biden tonight before the G20 meeting tomorrow morning.